South Korea, the US and Japan have agreed to extract samples from the nuclear reactor in North Korea to verify Pyongyang's nuclear declaration. The new bill allowing businesses to own media companies is being met with fierce opposition. And production cuts at the country's major car makers are seriously affecting the overall auto industry. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, the 4th of December. I'm Nemo Kim. South Korea, the US and Japan have agreed that it's essential to extract samples from the nuclear reactor in Yongbyon, North Korea, to verify the North nuclear declaration. Pyongyang has officially rejected this, signaling a bumpy road for the six-party nuclear talks set for next week.
Chief nuclear delegates of South Korea, the US, and Japan have held discussions in Tokyo ahead of the six-way talks next week. The three sides say North Korea must agree to submit samples from its Yongbyon nuclear reactor at next week's talks.
어떤 종류의 합의가 어떤 형태로 나오든 간에 거기에는 시료 채취라고 하는 것이 의심의 여지 없이 읽혀질 수 있도록 하는 것이 가장 바람직하겠다.
Seoul's chief delegate Kim Suk says the three countries also agreed that the second stage of the denuclearization process be completed by late March. The second stage process was originally to finish within the Bush administration's term, which ends next month. The agreement means the process can continue past the deadline. U.S. nuclear negotiator Christopher Hill has also stressed improving North Korea's ties with the U.S. and Japan.
Fundamentally, the six-party talks are not just about denuclearization, they're about relations among states in the region.
Pyongyang and Washington will hold bilateral talks in Singapore Thursday for last-minute coordination on whether to include the sampling in the verification protocol, and if so, in what way.
The ruling Grand National Party has presented to the National Assembly a 7-point amendment to media laws. The bill seeks to allow corporations to own both newspapers and broadcast networks. The main opposition, Democratic Party, has filed a strong protest, saying the change will result in collusions between politicians and businessmen.
The main bone of contention is allowing cross-ownership of newspapers and broadcast networks. The ruling Grand National Party wants to amend media law to lift restrictions on co-ownership. The party also seeks to allow newspapers and large corporations to enter the broadcast market. The amendment proposal also calls for newspapers and conglomerates to own up to 20% of broadcast network shares and 49% of general and news channels. Under the new law, foreign investors can also own up to 20% of general and news-only channels. Moreover, news services provided by web search engines will be classified separately as Internet news service, subjecting them to press arbitration law. The main opposition Democratic Party blasted the bill, accusing the ruling party of trying to seize control of the media without public consensus.
미디어 관련법은 재벌과 보수 언론의 방송 진출 통로를 마련하여 권한 유착에 뿌리를 내리기 위한 기획 입법입니다.
The two parties are expected to engage in heated debate over the bill in Parliament.
Korea has developed a combat system for next-generation high-speed vessels defending coastal waters. The system can detect, chase, and attack targets. Here's more.
"70mm naval guns fire from the deck of a 440-ton high-speed vessel with guided missiles. The shells are aimed at a moving object at sea, and before long, the grid-shaped computer screen shows the target is shot. The exclusive combat system has been developed by Domestic Technology since 2000 at a cost of more than $48 million. The biggest strength is computer control that automatically locates enemy ships, aircraft, and submarines. The location data is delivered real-time to the weapon system, such as warship guns.
국내 개발된 3차원 레이더를 통하여 대함 대공의 100여 개 표적을 식별하여 대응할 수 있습니다.
This technology had been held by a handful of advanced nations, including the U.S. and Britain. The Korean military will apply the combat system to 20 high-speed vessels, including one named after the late Army Major Yoon Young-ha. Over the long term, the technology could also be used on submarines.
The production cuts at the nation's 5 major car makers are affecting the overall auto industry, as well as many partner companies. Some 10,000 first and secondary partner companies are part of the auto sector. Industry insiders say the output cuts are likely to cause considerable repercussions on the industry for some time to come.
This tire factory has stopped operation, saying one of its 4 production lines is undergoing a mechanical checkup.
세계적인 경기가 위축되고 있는 이런 상황에서 자동차 생산도 감산되고 있는 이런 데 타이어 업계라 그래서 비껴나갈 수는 없는 상황인 것 같습니다.
Domestic car makers are expected to cut production by 68,000 units. This downsizing has also scaled back activity at 10,000 partner companies, including tire and steel sheet suppliers. A domino effect appears inevitable. The finished car industry is likely to suffer losses of $816 million and affiliates $408 million. Analysts say 3,400 workers in the finished car industry and 2,300 in partner companies could get laid off.
그 감산 자체가 만약에 장기화될 경우에는 기본적으로 이 자동차 부품을 생산하는 중소기업의 부도로 이어질 가능성이 좀 높다고 보고 있습니다.
Experts say immediate cash aid should go to struggling small and mid-sized companies, and for a production adjustment to be based on accurate demand predictions. Job sharing and adjustment of hours instead of layoffs are also crucial in fighting the economic slowdown.
Internet users no longer have to enter their citizens' ID numbers when they join net portals or e-commerce sites. The country's communications watchdog will soon pass a regulation on using other forms of ID to get registered on websites.
The Korea Communications Commission has presented a proposal to allow Internet users to use identification other than their social security numbers when joining a website.
주민번호가 노출되는 경우에 개인정보가 연쇄적으로 노출되어서 어떤 피해를 가중시키는 그런 사례가 굉장히 많습니다. 그런 부분에 대한 대처 수단으로 주민번호를 대신하는 어떤 다른 수단의 이용을 활성화시키기 위해서
Covered under the new plan are portal sites with more than 50,000 daily hits and shopping and game sites with 10,000 daily visits. Of all websites with more than 5,000 daily hits, 71% of web portals, 73% of e-commerce sites, and 85% of game sites will no longer require social security numbers for registration. User identity will be confirmed instead through authorization codes, mobile phone numbers, or internet pins. But this measure to protect personal data is being criticized as inadequate. This is because all other forms of ID are based on a person's social security number. The Communications Commission says it will wrap up the legislative process this month and start enforcing the measure in April.
The tough economic situation has seen less donations and charity work in Korea. But students at one middle school in the southern city of Gwangju are showing what neighborly love means by buying charcoal blocks for senior citizens who live alone. We went to meet them.
Dozens of middle school students line up along a narrow alley in the morning to deliver charcoal blocks. These girls are helping the needy and senior citizens living alone. Their faces are smeared with soot and their shoulders begin to ache, but their smiles stay bright. The cold delivery is providing a valuable lesson of sharing love with neighbors.
연탄 떼는 집이 없을 줄 알았는데 오히려 힘든 이웃이 많다고 생각하니까 좀 안 됐기도 하고 이런 학교에서 이런 행사하고 그러니까 좋기도 하고 하는 것 같아요.
This old woman is smiling with relief now that she will have enough charcoal blocks for the upcoming winter.
너무 고마워. 너무 고맙고 나는 별로 이렇게 애로운 사람이라서 지금 자식들 보면 좋아.
Students at the middle school raised more than $1,200 to buy 4,200 coal blocks for 14 needy households.
Here's another heartwarming story of a woman who's done 9,000 hours of volunteer work over the past decade, despite suffering from ovarian cancer. Lee Hee-suk says she's overcome her illness with the joy of sharing. We went to meet her.
Volunteers knit fur hats to be donated to prematurely born infants in Africa. Lee Hee-suk has taught them to knit for a staggering 9,000 hours over the past 10 years. Her spirit of charity is all the more special as volunteering has helped her fight terminal ovarian cancer. She was diagnosed with the disease in 1999 and was given just 6 months to live.
머리도 빠지고 마스크도 쓰고 이런 거 왜 저런 사람이 뭐하러 봉사를 하러 나왔나 이럴 정도로 손가락질을 많이 받았어요.
더 이뻐졌었어. 오랜만에 보니까.
She's also helped serve free lunches to elderly people who live alone for the past 5 years. Yi has not stopped volunteering despite undergoing 3 major surgeries and more than 50 anti-cancer treatments. Her husband tears up watching her.
죽는다 보니까 그 마음이 드니까 마음이 좀 이상해서 자기 뭐 건강 지키는 한까지는 해도 괜찮죠 뭐 저도 그런 거 바람이고요.
She says the joy of assisting neighbors in need has helped her fight cancer.
Movie theatres across the country are getting ready for hot new releases this week. We have for you now a preview of this holiday season's latest releases. Let's take a look.
This 36-year-old radio DJ was once a top star. He's visited one day by 2 strangers. A 22-year-old woman with a young son claims she's the DJ's daughter. The DJ is dumbfounded by the shocking news, but remembers sleeping with a neighborhood girl as a middle school student. This explains the appearance of his long-lost daughter and grandson. The comedy is about the seemingly impossible story of 3 generations. The film stresses the importance of families and warmth thanks to an interesting plot and the performance of the cast.
밝고 명랑하고 감동도 있고 그런 영화이기 때문에 겨울에 이렇게 뭐 가족들하고 같이 편하게 볼 수 있는 영화가 아닐까.
This comedy is set in the 18th century Joseon dynasty. The conflict between 2 opposing political parties reached a climax. The 2 men emerged to bring peace to the nation in the middle of turbulence. Lead actors Lee Jung-jae and Kim Seok-hun have taken a dramatic turn in acting by appearing in this movie.
Multifunctional products are all the rage these days. They are easy to use and cheaper than single-function products. So let's take a look at some of these very versatile items.
The designs of electronic home appliances are very diverse nowadays. They're also very versatile. This smart electronic oven also functions as a microwave as well as a food dryer, which dehydrates fruit and sweet potatoes into chips. This gas oven has a dishwasher at the bottom. This product is also cheap compared to buying a conventional gas oven and a dishwasher separately. It also saves on space. The oven-cum-dishwasher is very popular among newlywed couples. This vacuum cleaner has another function of a steam cleaner.
청소기 따로, 진공 청소기 따로 구매하게 되면은 일단 가격이 25만 원 내외가 듭니다. 근데 이 제품 같은 경우에는 2 가지가 하나로 결합되어 있기 때문에 가격은 15만 원대로 구매 가능하고요.
This washing machine has a function to clean shoes. This potty has nothing special at first glance, but it turns into a shampooing chair for babies when its back is pulled backwards. How about using this fun-looking bath soap if your children don't like taking baths? It looks like a ball, but it melts down as soon as it's put into water. And a hidden toy appears when the soap melts out. And children love this item. Many parents get a humidifier for their children's room. This product functions as a humidifier, air purifier and a light.
세 가지 기능이 복합되어서 이게 전기세가 많이 나올 것 같은데요. 시간당 20W밖에 소모가 안 되기 때문에요. 한 달이면 900원 정도밖에 안 나와요. 그래서 참 경제적인 것 같아요.
Multifunctional cosmetics are also popular these days. This makeup base has another cosmetic item on the top to camouflage facial flaws. Some products have two kinds of essence in one bottle.
낱개로 만약에 이거를 구매를 하게 되면 이것도 마찬가지로 가격이 되게 고가인데 두 가지가 한꺼번에 한 번에 쓸 수 있다는 게 굉장히 매력적이고요. 제품을 한 번에 다양한 기능을 쓸 수 있다는 게 굉장히 좋은 것 같아요.
With their reasonable prices and easy-to-use features, multifunctional products are appealing to many customers.
And here's a look at today's economic indicators, and that's followed by world weather. And that's it for today's edition of News Today. Join me tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching.